How's it going, everybody, and welcome to a Magic the Gathering deck profile. This is probably my favorite deck, and I'm not a very competitive player, so this is definitely not a competitive deck. It's more of a casual deck. It's a mid-range deck. It's my Devotion Hydra deck. I built this one without looking at anything. I just saw like the Devotion mechanic, and I was like, hey, that looks fun. Let's get a bunch of mana and play a bunch of big stuff. So I'm not really going to talk that much at the beginning here. I'm just going to go straight into the video. So we're running 4 copies of, you can't see that, that's off the screen, 4 copies of Honor Elves. It's just the 1 mana, the one green for a 1/1, and you can tap to add green. And we're running 4 copies of Elvish Mystic. Does exactly the same thing, just a different name, so we can run some extra copies there. So there's 8 ramp cards right there, and then we're running even more ramp, just 4 copies of Voyaging Satyr. This guy's important for 2 reasons. One, he acts the same way as the other 2, where you can just tap him for an extra mana. But then there's another card in the deck that I'll get to later that actually makes Voyaging Satyr a bit more useful than the other 2, which is probably why it costs 2 mana instead of 1. And our next ramp minion is going to be, did I just say minion? I meant to say creature. I've been playing too much Hearthstone, damn. Alright, our next ramp creature is Karametra's Acolyte. This guy, you can tap it to add green to your mana pool equal to your devotion to green. And your devotion is just how many of those symbols you got on the field, for those of you who don't know. So he just taps for a buttload of mana. You could spend that to play your big guys, which we'll get into next. Playing 4 copies of Primordial Hydra. This guy gets pretty big. It's green X, and you can at the beginning of your upkeep, you double the number of 1/1 counters on it, and as long as it has 10 or more, it's got trample, which is pretty good. And it comes in the battlefield with X 1/1 counters. And we play 4 copies of Hydra Broodmaster. I got 2 different rarities here. Anyway, so we got. So basically, it's a 6 mana 7/7 Hydra with Monstrosity X. So it costs XX in green, and you can make a bunch of tokens with this guy. A bunch of really big Hydras with this guy. So it's pretty good. Whenever it comes monstrous, you see down there it says put XX green Hydra creature tokens on the battlefield. So this guy makes a bunch of other big guys. We're playing 4 copies of Hero's Bane, similar to Primordial Hydra, in that it exponentially increases its size. However, this one you pay 4 mana to do so instead of just at the upkeep, so you can do this whenever you want, really, because you have plenty of mana in this deck. This guy does not get trample, though, when it has 10 or more, but that's fine. So we got Pelucranos World Eater and Nessian Wild's Ravager to round off our Hydras. Pelucranos World Eater, it's another monstrous card, and so it's XX green, Monstrosity X. So when it becomes monstrous, it deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures your opponent controls. Each one of those creatures deals damage equal to its power to Pelucranos. So this guy can board wipe some stuff. Nessian Wild's Ravager is a tribute 6, and if it wasn't paid, you can have this fight another target creature. I'm honestly, I probably should just drop the Nessian Wild's Ravager for another Pelucranos. I think Pelucranos is way better. I just threw it in there because why not? Because I had it and I don't have another Pelucranos. Anyways, moving on to our last creatures in the deck, and a couple more big guys. They're not as big as the other guys, but they're pretty good. Two Pathbreaker Worms. They're 6 mana 6/4s with Soul Bond, and as long as it's paired with another creature, both creatures have trample. So you can pair that with your Hero's Bane, and then that way it's got trample. Moving on to the spells in the deck, we're playing 4 copies of Predator's Rapport. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but basically this allows you to not die because you get a bajillion health. Choose target creature you control, and you gain life equal to its power plus its toughness. So these guys basically go infinite, and then you play this on one of them, and you have infinite health. That's how it works. All right, onto our land. So we're playing 3 copies of Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. And the way this guy works is you can either tap it to add 1 mana, or you can pay 2, tap it, and choose a color, add to your mana pool an amount of mana equal to your devotion to that color. So that's where Voyaging Satyr comes in, because you can untap this with Voyaging Satyr and then tap it again for a ton more mana. And then we're just playing 22 Forests to round off the deck there. So that's the deck. Let me go ahead and shuffle it and pull a hand for you and see how it plays. It's not an aggro deck by any means. It's not a control deck either. It's more of just a mid-range stompy deck. It's just kind of a budget fun deck that I like. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle real quick. These sleeves, while they look cool, they don't shuffle very well. They're the Pokemon sleeves from one of the, what are they called? The starter. They're like some kit that you get like sleeves and a bunch of packs and like the dice and shit. I don't remember what they're called though. For some reason I'm thinking Legendary Collection, but I know that's Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know what they're called. Anyways, that should be good. Let's go ahead and just draw 7. This hand's alright, because there's plenty of lands in the deck, so this is probably something I would keep. So I'd go turn 1 Forest, tap it for our Llanowar Elf. And then next turn, we did not draw a Forest, so we're a little bit fucked. Let's see how long it would take to draw, man. I didn't shuffle it great, but there we go, 3 turns. Okay, well I probably shouldn't have kept that hand. Alright, let me shuffle it and draw another hand, because it can get pretty out of hand if you have a good hand. But that was not a great hand because I didn't have enough mana to do anything. You really want to you really don't want to keep any hand that doesn't have at least 3 mana in it. Is the main sort of takeaway from that, because then you kind of just get stuck not being able to do anything for a couple turns. Alright, let's try it again. Okay, there we go. That's a better hand. Okay, there we go. So if we get a big guy, that's 5, 6, and I'm gonna just friendly mulligan. Why not? Okay, so this is another. I'm not really showing off this deck that well, but this is another case of a hand that I would probably mulligan because there's no threats in it. So we've got the mana that time, but no threats. We need a hand with mana and like at least 3 mana, and then like a big threat. Okay, I swear this deck's not this bad. I'm not showing it off very well, but it does get out of hand pretty quickly if you draw a decent hand. Okay, let's try it again. Let's see, 6 and 7. All right, well, we have a couple good cards in this hand. We got plenty of mana as well, so I would keep this. So we're going to go ahead and play this out. So we'll go ahead and mana, Llanowar Elves, untap, upkeep, draw, mana, and then we'll go ahead and tap that for an Elvish Mystic. So the first, it's not an aggro deck, so the first 2 turns are a little weak, but I mean that's fine. Untap, upkeep, draw. So now we got a Hero's Bane. So here's where we can start getting pretty crazy. So we can play our Hero's Bane with our 5 mana, and it comes in as a 4/4. Where are my dice? Right next to me. So it comes in as a 4/4, which is not amazing, but it's not terrible. But then on our next turn, so we got another forest, so we can either play our Hydra Broodmaster, but we don't exactly have any devotion right now, so it kind of maybe doesn't make a lot of sense to do that. I mean, it depends on what they have on the board, though. We could either pay 4 mana and swing in with an 8 attack creature, or we can just go ahead and, in this case, since I don't know what my opponent's got, I guess, because I'm just playtesting here. We'll go ahead and play our Broodmaster, and then we have a big 7/7. See, it ramps up pretty quickly, and then you can play some really big guys. If they've got a lot of small guys, I could have played this, and then next turn I could monstrous it. So let's go ahead and untap, upkeep, and draw. It's another forest. So we can go ahead, and this turn we can soul bond this to the Broodmaster. So now it's a 7/7 trample that I can make gigantic if I want to. So like, yeah, you just see, and there I can at least gain 14 health. Like it's not the best deck in the world, but it's certainly fun. But that's really all I've got for the deck profile there. And if you like it, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and some gaming videos. I don't know if I'm going to be doing too many more Magic videos. I'll have to see how this one goes, see what the reactions to it are. But I'll definitely be making a couple more Yu-Gi-Oh videos probably. Those will be coming soon, so stay tuned for those. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button already, please go ahead and do so. It really helps my channel out, and I'll see you next time.